They called the cops on me for owning a Rolls Royce. Seriously, in my neighborhood, apparently success is suspicious if you're under 40 and not named Chad. One minute, I'm out of my driveway, just admiring my car, feeling like I finally made it, and the next, the president of the HOA is charging at me, waving her arms like she's auditioning for some reality TV meltdown, yelling about how my vehicle disrupts the visual harmony. I wish I was making this up, but what started as one petty complaint turned into a full-blown public shaming, doctored photos, fake violations, and a neighborhood drama that you honestly wouldn't believe if you hadn't lived it. You ever had a neighbor go full villain? Yep, pull up a chair. Name's Thompson Carter. I hit 30 last year, and after a decade grinding as a brand consultant for luxury car companies Rolls-Royce included, I finally bought my dream car, that white Phantom gleaming in my driveway. It wasn't just a car. It was proof that all the late nights, skipped vacations, and business trips had been worth it. Willowbrook Estates was supposed to be the reward. Tree-lined streets, tidy lawns, a quiet cul-de-sac. You know, the vibe where everyone keeps up appearances, but behind closed doors, it's a different story. It all kicked off on a random Tuesday. I was washing my car when Selena Douglas marched across the street like she owned the place, arms folded, eyes locked on my rolls like it had personally offended her. "Are you the new resident?" she snapped. "Thompson Carter," I replied, "just moved in last week." Her glare didn't even flicker. "You need to register that vehicle with the HOA immediately. All luxury vehicles must be approved for color coordination and aesthetic compliance. Your car disrupts the neighborhood's harmony." I laughed, thinking she was joking, but she just stood there, stone cold. "This is my house, my driveway, my car." I said, "I don't need permission." That's when her mask slipped. "Non-compliance is $500, and that's just the first offense." My jaw clenched. "Let me guess, you're the HOA president?" She gave a shark smile. "Selena Douglas. 8 years running." Then, she looked me up and down and said, "How exactly does someone your age afford a car like this? Most people your age are still figuring out rent." The implication was clear. I must be up to something shady. "I got it through hard work and smart business decisions." I replied, "Something you might want to try." She lost it face red, fist slamming down on my hood, leaving a dent in the metal. "You arrogant little brat, do you know who I am?" "Who my husband is." I stared at the dent, years of sweat and sacrifice, and this woman decided to destroy it because she didn't like my attitude. "Get off my property," I said, my voice shaking. She stepped back, eyes blazing. "This isn't over. I know what kind of person you are, and I'll make sure everyone else does too." As she stormed off, I called Audrey Parker, my friend, a data analyst with a talent for digging up dirt. "Audrey, looking to Selena Douglas Willowbrook, HOA president. Married, thinks she's a big deal." 20 minutes later, Audrey called back. "Thompson, you won the Nightmare Neighbor lottery." Selena? Fired from her bank job for harassment and discrimination, settled out of court. Her husband, Spencer, manages an investment fund tried to buy a Rolls for years, keeps getting denied financing because of that settlement. Now it makes sense it's not about neighborhood harmony, it's pure jealousy. That night, Selena emailed demanding I attend an emergency HOA meeting to address my violations. I deleted it, then saved a copy. If she wanted to fight, she'd get one. The meeting was in a drab beige room, neighbors lined up in folding chairs. I dressed like I was heading to court, not a neighborhood spat. Selena stood front and center with a poster board covered in doctored photos, one showing my car blocking a fire hydrant that doesn't exist, another with my car parked across 4 spaces. "This man has flagrantly violated HOA aesthetics and endangered emergency access," she intoned, finger pointed at me like I was a criminal. Some neighbors nodded along, maybe out of fear, maybe habit, but then she dropped the real bomb. "Furthermore, I question how someone his age can afford a car worth over $400,000. That suggests activities deserving serious scrutiny." Just like that, she was accusing me of being a criminal, and whispers started, concerned glances, suspicion. Before I could defend myself, a young woman in the back stood up. "Excuse me, I'm Maria Santos. I rent above the Hendersons. Last month, Mrs. Douglas tried to have me evicted because she didn't like my car, a Honda Civic, in my assigned spot. The room went silent. Selena snapped. This meeting is for homeowners only. But Maria didn't back down. She's doing the same thing to him as she did to me, attacking anyone with something nice, making up rules to justify her behavior. Selena turned on Maria, spatting, "Sit down and shut up, you little piece of trash. No one cares about your sob story." The gasp in the room was audible. Selena announced, "The fine for Mr. Carter is $1, $500 due immediately. If he refuses to pay, I'll contact the authorities to investigate his income." She sat, smug, convinced she'd won. I stood up, pulled out my portfolio. "Mrs. Douglas, you've made serious accusations tonight. Let me respond." She waved me off. "Pay the fine or face consequences." I laid out my proof. Employment letters, tax returns, bank statements, all above board. "You accused me without evidence, doctored photos, and just insulted a hard-working student. The real question is, do you belong here?" Selena paled. The vote on the fine? 3 hands out of 20, and even those looked shaky. George Reynolds, an older neighbor, approached afterward. "Son, I've watched that woman terrorize folks for years. It took guts. You've got my support." But Selena wasn't done. Days later, I was on a call when 2 police cruisers pulled up Selena out front, putting on a show for 3 officers, accusing me of threatening her. I stayed calm, explained the truth, but the younger cops still cuffed me temporarily in front of my neighbors on my own lawn, while Selena recorded, gloating. Maria shouted, "This is ridiculous. He never did anything wrong." George walked up, told the officers exactly what happened at the meeting, confirmed I'd never threatened anyone. The cops realized they'd been dragged into a neighborhood feud. They let me go, but the humiliation stuck. George came by that evening with a folder, years of evidence showing Selena targeting neighbors, faking violations, extorting fines, and even stealing HOA funds through fake consulting contracts, over $50,000 last year alone. Turns out she had a whole operation going, bullying, skimming, and making life hell for anyone who stood out. "You're the first person to stand up and survive," George told me. Then, the twist, Spencer, Selena's husband, showed up at my house, asking me to hide my car in the garage so Selena would back off. "It's not just jealousy, our credits trashed after her lawsuit, and seeing your car every day. It's too much." When I refused, Spencer got threatening, hinting at business consequences. "You want to play games? Go ahead, but be ready for what comes." That was I was done being on defense. With Audrey's help, I gathered evidence of the fraud, fake invoices, texts, emails. The next HOA meeting, I live-streamed it for the whole community. Projector rolling, I put up screenshots of Selena's private group chats, where she called residents garbage and plotted how to manufacture violations, then played audio of her and Spencer planning to rewrite regulations just to target me. When Spencer shouted, "That's illegal," George corrected him. Money party consent was enough in our state. The community erupted. Maria took the mic, calling out Selena for targeting her over a social media post, for calling her trash. Neighbors voted Selena was out, financial audit ordered. Next morning, my inbox was flooded. Turns out, Audrey's digging had found more. A private investigator had video of Selena taking bribes from contractor, approving illegal projects, hiding the cash trail. We called an emergency meeting this time, with city officials and local media. Selena was arrested. Spencer fled the state. The news went viral. Rolls-Royce dispute exposes HOA corruption. 6 months later, Selena was sentenced to prison. Spencer got even longer for money laundering. The stolen funds were recovered, the community fixed, and the neighborhood finally started feeling like a real home. That car, once a magnet for jealousy, became a symbol of possibility, proof you could fight back and win. Looking back, it wasn't about the Rolls-Royce at all. It was about the right to succeed, to not be bullied by people who can't handle your success. My willingness to stand up inspired others. My inbox filled with stories of people who finally documented their own HOA nightmares. And the ultimate twist? Rolls-Royce put me in a commercial. Me story, my car, a symbol of courage. So let me ask you, Have you ever dealt with a Selena in your life, someone who couldn't stand to see you succeed? What would you have done differently? Drop your story below. Let's talk about community, fairness, and standing up for what's right. Because in the end, hard work and integrity always outlast jealousy and corruption every single time.